morning, everybody. Mestre Vibes coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. This will be the last podcast, episode 37 for 2023. Today, I have a very special message for everybody, and I'll jump right into it. First of all, I want to say it's been a fantastic year, and I just finished all the cleaning. If you check out my Instagram, Mestre Vibes Capoeira, you'll see that I was cleaning this morning with my power hose, and I got it all done. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about some ideas and some reflections I had over the last week. While I was cleaning this whole week, it kind of gives me time to really think and reflect and think about 2023 in perspective. Today, I'm going to talk about, I know I always talk about it, but I always talk about appreciation. I really feel people nowadays don't appreciate how lucky we are. And I always talk about growing up, and in my last podcast, I talk about seeing real poverty growing up, my son seeing real poverty in Africa, really understanding how hard life really is and how things work. So I want to talk about appreciation on a couple of topics. So I'm going to jump right into it because you guys are just so fantastic. First, what do I appreciate most is that I have good health. Really, guys, I'm 52 years old. Yes, I've got like some, of course I have chronic injuries like every person my age, but also from, 35 years of damage of capoeira, but in a good way, right? I'm rehabbing and feeling good. My knee is a lot better than it was last year. I'm up and at 'em every day and feeling fantastic. And I cannot say how lucky and how appreciative that I still have good health. I could use to lose a little bit around the waist, but we can work on that as a resolution for 2024. Secondly, when my son came back from Africa, he said the one thing is like when he was in Rwanda, he only had cold showers. Like hot water was so rare and so, such a privilege to have, and we forget how lucky that just having clean water and clean, air and hot water running is just something. Like it's winter here. The other morning it was 2 degrees in the morning, and I had taken a shower, and the shower was so hot and it felt so good and clean. And I mean, you can rinse out your mouth with the shower. The water here it's clean. I mean, I know it sounds strange, but growing up poor sometimes, I remember when I was a kid, we didn't really have our first electric refrigerator until I was about, till I was about 8th grade. I remember growing up and my mom always having like a big bucket of water where she would store like little cartons of milk, and it's crazy. I know it sounds strange, but that was the environment I grew up with. So sometimes I'm just really appreciative of the little things like clean water and simple things that I have that we take for granted. I'm really happy that I live in a country. I love living in Japan. It's very safe, I never feel threatened to be walking down the street. I don't worry about a lot of the violence that happens in the United States or around the world. And I really feel blessed and lucky. So being in a nice, safe, and stable environment is so nice for me. It allows me to comfortably, raise a family and to comfortably move through life and through my neighborhood and my environment in a very good way. I'm also, a very big person who's grateful for all the education access that I have. I can every day, like if I don't know something, and I'm really thinking about this when my son, as he's trying to become a YouTuber and he's doing his things, I mean, he's really studying, like he's checking out how this AI software works, how this software works for fixing up pictures. He's, self-educating himself to become a professional YouTuber. Who knows what will happen, but he's really learning a lot. And maybe, I've told him, like, once he starts to learn a little bit more, maybe he can make some videos for us on capoeira. So we'll see how that works out too. Access to education is just so amazing. Not just like, how can I say, the other day, just, I don't know, like Mestre Vibes did a video, and he had the sometimes his Wi-Fi falls, like the Wi-Fi breaks down or disconnects or whatever. Just having that infrastructure of living in a country and in a city where there's good infrastructure that I can have really good access to education, whatever I need, to anything I need to do, right? So like I'm studying always. Being American, I think we're a little spoiled sometimes because we realize things like freedom of speech and expression don't really exist outside of the United States, except for maybe Western Europe, because it's really difficult to express yourself. People are always getting arrested in other countries because they express their opinions. So I'm really feeling great because I'm able to freely express myself as an artist, as a community organizer, and that's something I'm really appreciative of also. I have a very supportive wife and family and community of friends. And it's so important that I'm able to reach out, and whenever I need anything, people are there to give me moral support, advice, and my family is just amazing. Everyone's healthy and happy. And I'm really, grateful for that this year. Most important, I think the next one is really important. I'm finally at a point in my life where I feel I'm a successful mestre and I have financial stability. I'm not worried about whether, I need more students. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I don't have enough money to pay the bills this month. Like, I'm way past that as an artist now. So financial stability is something that I'm really appreciative for, because that allows me to do a lot more, like doing this podcast and these things. By the way, this podcast today, I'll make it open to everybody so people can listen up and see if they like it and maybe become Patreon members themselves. So today will be a public podcast. So thanks for supporting, and this will be, because it's also the last one of the year. I'm really appreciative of personal safety and security, like I just said, right? My community and everything else. And I think the last two are really a product of modern society and modern technology. One, like the technological convenience, the ability to just, we've got Amazon one-day delivery. I use something called Temu to get stuff from China. I can go down the street and I have 100 options for lunch. My neighborhood's really great. Technology is everywhere. I can contact friends and family all over the world in an instant. So sometimes people think it's all just so normal that they forget to appreciate. I remember being a kid in Mexico City and calling my mom and waiting till 3 a.m. when the price was so low, and then having a stack of coins to put in the payphone. So I think the technological convenience that we have today is something we should really appreciate and never forget. And finally, I'm really appreciative in 2023 for all the friends, the community, my family who has supported me and given me unending moments of peace and of leisure. You guys have I don't have the words to say how great I feel. 2023, I cut off everything, and I'm just focused right now on Patreon, on this podcast, things that I do, the teaching I do on Patreon, and friends, family, and capoeira. Guys, I honestly feel I'm mentally, spiritually, and emotionally stable and free. And a lot of that is thanks to you. I started this Patreon podcast and all these things I'm doing on Patreon with the Brazilian percussion class and everything. And I'm doing it because even as a incredibly, I want to say emotionally intelligent person, I'm very stable. When I see things going on. How do you know you're stable? When you look around and you realize there's a lot of crazy stuff, and you know how to be like a ninja, fade into the darkness. Don't let it, become part of your life. Don't let toxicity become part of your life. And I'm really grateful for all of that. But even as an artist, right? Like I was telling my son, you know, because he's doing the YouTube and he's like, wow, you know, he's getting comments. People are like, wow, that's a great YouTube short. And he's so happy. And I said, even though you don't need acclamation or you don't need other people to validate you, you know, people say, oh, if you're strong, you don't need that. But that's not true. You want people who are part of your community, part of your network, even like the Nobel Prize is other scientists and people validating you because you know their opinion has value. They're constructive, they're intelligent, and I really feel that I'm really grateful for having so many people around me. Contra Mestre Jacaré, Contra Mestre Disco, Contra Mestre Taz, all these people here, Mestre Linguiça, my amazing wife, Contra Mestra Caninana, everybody around the world, you know. There's so many people to name, so I don't want to, you know, leave anyone out, but you all mean so much to me. And today's podcast is just really about appreciating all the things that we take for granted that really make our lives amazing. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump back into getting some stuff done. The last 2 classes. Today is a public podcast, so if you're interested in joining my Patreon community, check out the link below. And welcome to our community, guys. Everyone who's supported me in 2023, we're just going to have even a better year in 2024. Guys, lots of love, lots of peace, and lots of capoeira. Mestre Sukuri, Mestre Vibes, Tokyo, Japan.